If you train consistently, but your body isn't changing and you still lack energy, you're doing it wrong. So in this episode, I'm going to highlight 3 reasons why and 3 reasons that might solve this. I've been doing this a hell of a long time. And the truth is this: when you run a business or you are involved in running a business, your life is different. As I've said on the previous couple of episodes, but many of the episodes before, you can't often train the same as someone who has a 9 to 5 and a different set of circumstances within their life. And as a business owner or someone who is involved in high level decisions within a business, you need to think differently and manage your training differently, certainly as the year goes on. I'm yet to coach anybody within Built to Last currently whose week is exactly the same every week or doesn't have to adapt their training in some way across a month-to-month period. So I'm going to share with you 3 bad tips and 3 better tips following the theme of the last couple of episodes. 3 bad tips. Lift and train every day. I'm not saying you shouldn't move every day. I certainly think you should move every day. And look, if your lifestyle does align to training every day and it's good for your head, by all means do it. But where I see a misconception of what people need to do versus what they actually do is when trainers are programming too many days of weights and generic programming. This can lead to burnout and a lack of results and certainly a lack of motivation. So by all means, move every day, but maybe have more variation in what you do every day. If you beat yourself up every day, you will not progress and you will burn out and likely fall off with your health and fitness. And your body will not change. Secondly, training in the mornings only. Now, don't get me wrong, I've said on many previous episodes that many of our clients do train in the morning. But you can't have a fixed mindset if this doesn't align to your lifestyle or on a given week isn't actually viable with the way your day is set up. Maybe what you have to do with your kids in the morning, or you might be traveling, for example, like many of our clients do, early morning flights, and you simply can't train in the morning. The best time to train is the time you can commit to, and that might look different on a given week and on a given day. You can't have a fixed mindset approach with training when you've got lots of balls to juggle. Maybe in your 20s, you had this perfect routine you could stick to, perfect time you could train at, that would have been in your standard sort of Monday to Friday format where you get the majority of sessions in during the week. But for many of our clients, for example, they train Saturday and Sunday and maybe slightly less during the week. Your brain, your body, your nervous system doesn't care or know what day of the week it is. So the best time to train is the one that is more complementary to your calendar on that given day. So for example, I trained first thing in the morning. The majority of my training mornings last year. However, this year I flipped it because I want to get my highest value work task done as early as I can, first thing in the morning. And also I've got a little baby on the way, so I know my schedule is going to get pulled upside down potentially when the little one arrives. So I need to have a best case scenario and a next best case scenario, and I need to be malleable with that to factor in business and time with my little one. So don't think that morning is the only option. Maybe lunch is best for you. Maybe late morning is best for you. Maybe even early afternoon. Or maybe like some of our clients after work, where straight after work they train and then spend time with family. But anyone who is preaching this is the only time to train, as in the morning, it's lazy and doesn't understand you or your lifestyle. Thirdly, go all out every single session. Now, I love training hard, and you have to push yourself if you're going to see change and force adaptation within the body. But some days you're going to be tired, sleep deprived, and pushing too hard will break you. You'll get injured, and it'll affect your business performance that day. So what I would do is look at your day, look at your week, and then think, which days do I need to be really sharp and maybe preserve my energy a little bit more? Now, don't get me wrong, training can create more energy, of course, but if you are pushing too hard and with too much volume on a certain day, that might leave you sometimes feeling jaded and a little bit cooked. For example, if you've got a really important meeting or maybe you're traveling lots, have a stimulate, not annihilate approach with your training. This has bit me in the arse so many times where because I love training hard, I've pushed too hard and I've just felt a little bit jaded for the day after, or for the day, for that day. If I've trained in the morning, for example. So just have that fine line between when you really go all out and what days you really train with high volume and maybe slightly longer sessions, and try and adjust those sessions or factor those sessions in a bit smarter within your weekly calendar. In terms of 3 better solutions, now jump the gun with some of these, with what I've just shared, as a refinement on the bad tips. But I'm going to share with you now 3 things that I know have worked for many of our Built to Last clients who stay in shape year round, are consistent or seem to have more consistent energy, and never ever off it with their health and fitness. Instead of lifting or having your training week totally dominated by resistance sessions, I hate the word hybrid, but a bit more of a blended approach of resistance and cardio work, fitness work. So not only are you building a strong body, muscles, but you've also got a healthy heart, and you're just as fit emotionally and physically as you are with how you look physically. As we get older, especially, the value on fitness and heart health is just as important as how you look. So try not to be one-dimensional with your training routine. Secondly, train for energy, not just for how you look. Some sessions you're going to leave and you should feel cooked and battered, right? Where you really push yourself, and I love nothing more than feeling this way. But you should also be leaving some sessions feeling even more energized because you've filled your energy cup up. Certainly when it comes to cardio work or carefully structured resistance sessions, which can do both. And this is what we focus on in Built to Last. We make sure our clients, even with their resistance sessions, they are a good blend of strength work, power work, hypertrophy work, which builds muscle, but also have a strong cardiovascular aspect to it too. So you get more bang for your buck from the same time. Lastly, think like a CEO in your workouts. Have deliberate intent every single session. Deliberate intent. Think quality beats quantity. And this is something I've really focused on even more this year, because I've had issues with my hip from years of football. I found out I've got no cartilage on my right hip. I had to strip back the running volume because my body is at a different place to how it was years ago, but I still want to train hard. I still want to look a certain way. I still want to be fit. I still want to be mobile. So I've had to train a little bit smarter. So you don't necessarily have to take every single set to failure with your weights workouts. One really hard set, once you've primed the muscle and you've done your warm-up sets with 100% intent and focus, a lot of the time is all you need. So don't have junk volume that so many people do in the gym. How do you know if you're doing this? Are you actually changing? If you're not changing, the likelihood is, even if you're doing 3 to 4 sets per exercise, you're not being intentional with the majority of those sets. And if you're not getting stronger, sometimes stripping back the volume and priming yourself for one really hard set on a given exercise is going to yield a bigger return on investment in your strength and your shape and how you feel about you and your physique development. It's going to keep you more motivated to keep going if you're getting stronger and you're actually changing. So if you have been working out now for a number of months, number of years, and you're still not changing, evaluate how you train, but also how long you train and how intentional your training actually is. And look at specifically the exercises that you're currently using. If you're trying to be efficient, the majority of your workouts should be made up of compound movements. You get more done in less time. You're working more muscles, more joints in less time. So just to recap, train at the time that suits you, not someone else's schedule. And that's going to look different every single week, potentially. You don't need to go all out. Every single set, every session. And you don't need to train every single day. You need to move every day, but you don't need to lift every single day. Have a good blend of cardio with weights and definitely factor in some mobility in there too. The best training program is going to be one that you can stick to, you enjoy, is effective, and keeps you out of pain. And if you struggle with any of these, this is something we can help with inside Built to Last. If you're anything like our clients, every week, every month, you're going to have a different set of challenges that might throw you off with your training, and you need to know how to adapt. And if you don't know how to do this, maybe some coaching will help you with this. And this is what I can help you with. So if you're an entrepreneur, high performer in any way, and you know you're capable of becoming more, looking better, feeling better, and simply want to get a better system in place to manage you, your training, your movement, your food, and maybe your mind, we can help you with this. So reach out to me if this is you. If not, I'll see you next time.